Okay, so the total area under a normal distribution curve must equal. That's the first actual question.
It's 1, isn't it?
Isn't it just 1?
Yeah, I think so. Because it has a normal distribution curve underneath. And technically, it goes to -1 and 1 as far as the area that it covers in the normal distribution. But
I think because
I
with
think
that
it's just
applet that it sent, if you just put in everything, if you fill in all the area, it just comes out to be 1.
yeah, I think it's just 1 in either direction from 0, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Cool. So just 1 in the first one. Question 3.
Yeah, I think so.
That's what the paper says. Total area under the curve equals 1.
Yeah.
So that's got to be the distribution curve, right?
Yeah. I think so.
And it lies on or above the horizontal axis.
So number 4 is false.
Yeah. Because, I mean, you can't have a negative number when you're talking about, like, quantities of things or data, basically.
Yeah.
And all distribution curves have to do with data, so.
Yeah.
Perfect. Question 5. A
Normal curve should be symmetric.
Yeah.
There's some other types of curves that aren't, but a normal distribution would be.
Yeah, I agree with that. Which of the following elements of the figure represents a z-score? I think that's C. What do you guys think for question 6?
You said you think it's C?
Yeah, I think it's C. Point at that number. I think that's.
Oh, that's that. Okay.
Z-score.
I mean, I guess Z is one of the z-scores, but I don't know, that one's kind of weird to me.
The reason why I say that is just because on that applet that we have the link to, it says z-score right next to the box.
Yeah, I mean, that is one of the z-scores, because z-scores are just standard deviations away from 0.
Mm-hmm.
So there's technically, like, just on the thing, it goes to basically 3 standard deviations away from the 0 on either side of the distribution. Does that make sense? And so C
Yeah.
technically, yeah, would represent one of the z-scores, but
I just looked up that video in the preparation, and one of the bullet points is about z-score, and it says z-score represents the number of standard deviations of value x is away from the mean.
Perfect.
So I guess I would agree with C.
Yep.
C it is. Cool. Where the following elements of the figure represents the probability that the z-score will be greater than 1.
So that be B.
Yeah, I think that's B. It's that area and what B is pointing towards.
Yeah, it's gonna be.
Awesome. Question 8. According to the 68, 95, 99.7% rule, what percentage of the data from the bell-shaped distribution will be within one standard deviation of the mean? Wouldn't it just be 68 following that rule?
yeah, I think so, because
It would have to be 1. It would have to add up to 1.
Yeah.
I wonder if that's why they're giving you the area, though, is so that. Does that make sense?
Wasn't, yeah, I think the definition of the 68, 95, 99.7 is that 68% is within one standard deviation, 95% is within 2, 99.7 is within 3 standard deviations.
Okay.
Cool.
Oh, but let's write it as a percentage. So we didn't read that like I did. I write it as a decimal.
Percentage. Yeah. Should we put the percent sign or just 68?
I don't know. I guess just 68.
Cool.
Moving on to number 9.
Yep, number 9. What proportion of the z-scores will be between -1 and 1 using that applet? I got, using that applet, just typing in 1, I got 0.6827. Says give your answer as a decimal accurate to 3 decimal places. 0.683.
Wait, how did you get that?
So using, it has the link to the normal probability applet.
Mm-hmm.
If you go to that and type in -1 down where it says the z-score, and then you have to click on the in between the two z-scores, and it'll turn blue. It gives you the area up top. That makes sense.
Oh, got you, yeah. 0.6827.
Yeah, so I guess rounding that would be 683, right?
Yeah.
Does that do the same thing with question 10, but put a 2 instead, I guess.
So 0.9545.
What did you get?
Point. Oops, where'd it go? 0.9545.
Yeah, that's what I got too.
So round it to 0.955.
Yeah, I think so. And question 11 is just the same thing, but with 3. So I got 9973 for 0.997.
So then 12 is basically just 6895, 99.7 rule.
Yeah, because the 2 other ones I don't think are right.
Hi guys,
Hey, Bertoni.
how are you?
Good.
Welcome.
Sorry, I'm late.
Oh, you're fine. So what I don't get, so like when I put in 2, -2, like the only other information it gives me is the area, which is 0.0455.
You have
Oh, you have it. You're the opposite. You have the 2 sides shaded in. If you press the 2 where it's blue, and then press the middle, it'll give you the area between them.
I was like a little confused about what it was doing. I was like, what in the world is going on here?
Yeah. Awesome.
So, sorry, what number are you in?
We're on
You-
number 12 right now, I think, is what they were saying.
Yeah, we just. Yeah, we're on number 12.
Which I think it's the first one that it follows the 6895, 99.7.
Yeah, that's what it looks like to me.
Especially because the 2 other ones I think are just faults anyways, so. Awesome. It's a lot of reading for question 13.
Jeez, no kidding.
So is this, we would have to just find the z-score and then I think, plug it into that applet and it'll tell us the proportion. So the z-score would be, you do the 0.60 minus the 0.65 and then divide that by the standard deviation, right?
You say 0.60 minus 0.65? Oh, there's 0.65. I didn't see where you're getting 0.65 from.
Yeah, I think, because I think you take the number they give you and subtract the mean and then divide it by the standard deviation to get your z-score.
This was calculated as
What everyone get for the z-score?
What did you get?
For the z-score, I got negative 0.714. A lot of decimals.
Yeah, I got negative 0.714.
Cool. Then I think we take that number and we just plug it into the applet, and then we can just, when it says what proportion of the population that is less than 0.60, then you go to the z-score and you just click on everything below it and highlight all that in blue. I got 0.2376. Anyone else get that?
For which one?
For get 0.238 for question 13.
Well, because anything less than 0.70 would be from the standard deviation of basically one standard deviation from the mean back, right?
Yeah, the z-score for it was 0.714, and so it'd be negative 0.714, so that gets you just below 1, lower than the mean.
Oh, wait, so after you get the z-score of negative 0.714, you said you're just plugging it in the little applet thing?
Yeah, because when we get the z-score, we need to then put it in the applet to see the proportions.
Right, and then it's asking for...
Sorry guys, I'm lost.
So
So to get the correct z-score, if I'm understanding correctly, you basically need to just subtract whatever the number it is that they give you from the mean, right?
I think it's the opposite. I think you subtract the mean from the number that they give you.
And then you divide that by the
Standard deviation.
deviation.
Yeah.
So what are you in number 14?
I think we're still on 13.
13.
Yeah.
I don't know if you saw, Bertoni, but up in question like 10 and 11, in blue font, it says normal probability applet.
Uh-huh.
So if you click that, it takes you to this little kind of graphing thing. So that's where we're plugging everything into. I got you. Then you just make the left side blue, right? And
Right.
I got the 0.2376.
Yeah, that's
So
what I got too.
you do 0.60. No, it's the mean minus 0.65 minus 0.60 divided by 0.07. Is that right?
Sorry, say it one more time.
No, to answer to the question 13th. It's zero. It's the mean minus the
No, it's what they give you minus the mean.
oh yeah, the variable minus the mean divided by the standard deviation.
Yeah. That's correct.
Okay.
And that'll get you your z-score. And so then once you have your z-score, you plug that into the graph that's on the other browser. And then you can answer the questions with that information that it gives you.
That gives you minus 7.142.
See me? Yeah, that's what I got.
You take that 0.7 and plug it into those bottom squares on the graph, on the left and right side.
Yeah, I just plugged in negative 0.714 into the graph. And then, since it's asking you what proportion of the population has a protein requirement that is less than 0.6, you're trying to find the area of the shaded side of the left side of the graph. And so that area came out to be 0.2376.
Would it be 0.238 though?
Yeah, so the answer would be 0.238, rounding it. And that just means 23%. They want it in decimal form.
So what did you get as result? Is that minus 7.
So the z-score that you got, it should be a negative 0.714.
Uh-huh.
And so then you stick that into the boxes on that applet that you had to open. Do you see where that is?
Okay, I made a mistake. That's 60 minus 0.65. Okay. Okay.
Were you able to get it?
Yeah, negative 0.714.
Yeah, you stick the 0.714 at the bottom. And at the top of the graph has the area that gives you your answer.
Uh-huh. It's 40, 47, 48%.
No, I think do you have both sides blue?
Mm-hmm.
Click on the right side so it's not blue anymore. And that should give you 0.2376, and that just means everything below negative 0.714. And that's the proportion of 0.2376.
Okay.
So is everyone good on number 13?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I think number 14 should be easy. It's just the opposite.
So kind of
calculations. I think you just have to press on the map.
Yeah. Or wouldn't it just be whatever decimal it takes to make it 1?
Yeah.
So I got 0.762.
Yeah,
That's
I
what I
got
got
it.
too.
I have a question. Why do you go to the right side? Because it says the question is what proportion of the population have a protein requirement that is less than 0.60?
No, on number 13, it says less, so that's why we only highlighted the left side of the graph. But on number 14, it says more than the 0.60, so that's why we highlighted the other side, so the middle and the right side.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Uh-huh.
So it looks like 15 is just the opposite.
Yes. Yeah, it is. If you plug in, find the z-score for 0.70. Yeah, it's just the positive 0.714.
And I got 0.525 after rounding for 16.
Well, would you include the second portion too, going all the way down
For 16
for 16.
or for 15?
Yeah, for 15.
Yeah, everything that's less than 0.70, you include all of it, so it ends up being the exact same thing as the one before it.
0.762, right?
Yeah,
Perfect.
I got 0.525 for 16.
Yeah. And that one you just took off the bottom half, right? Just highlighted the middle of the graph.
Yeah.
What did you get? 525?
Yeah.
Sorry if I ask you guys to repeat yourself a lot.
Was everyone on question 17?
It says find the 35th percentile for the protein requirement for adults.
So would that just be kind of the algebra? You find the z-score kind of backwards?
Item number 5, percentiles for distribution.
Um, I don't understand number 14. So do you plug the same z-score in the applet?
So question 14 is just asking the opposite thing that question 13 is.
Mm-hmm.
And so if you just go to the graph and you keep those same numbers that you had, instead of highlighting the left side, you just want to highlight the right side of the graph, because that's for everything that's above 0.60. And so then with that, it'll give you an answer of 0.7624 on the graph as the area.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Uh-huh. But to get the result of the previous previous question, I click the part of the graph that is on the right side, and that's how I obtain 0.22 and something to 237.
It should be everything on the left side of the graph. So when you're looking at the normal probability applet, you have the z-scores at the bottom that say negative 0.714. And then it also says 0.714. You want to work with the negative one because that's the z-score that we got. And so when it's asking less, then you work to the left of it. And when it's asking more, then you work to the right of it, of that red line.
So it gives 0.762.
It's do it to the left of the negative 0.714. And just highlight the one section.
To the left.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you get 0.762?
No, because that's to the left of the positive 0.714. So don't highlight the middle section.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because we're working with the negative line. So that's the answer for question 13, and then question 14 is just the opposite of that. And so instead of highlighting the left of that line, you'll highlight the middle. You'll highlight everything to the right, which will then get you the 0.762.
So I highlight only the middle and the right side. No, the left side.
For which question?
For 14.
Yeah. So for 14, it'll be everything to the right of the red line. That's the negative z-score.
So I get
Then
0.762. Is that what you have?
yeah. Exactly. Has anyone figured the answer out for question 17?
Like part of the problem is it asking for z-score? You know, what is it actually asking for? It says
Yeah,
find the 35th percentile, but
Once you get the z-score, though, you could get the 35th percentile just by putting 0.35 at the top.
I got an answer, but I don't know if it's right. I got 0.6766, but I feel like that's high.
Yeah.
But on the slide, it says, do what Ken said, put 0.35 at the top. So that gives you your z-score down at the bottom. And then you use that and plug it into the formula of x equals the mean plus the standard deviation times plus the z-score times the standard deviation. or basically the z-score times the standard deviation plus the mean. And that's
And what did you get?
x. Well, I don't know if I finished it all the way, but I just trying to do that formula. I got 0.6766, but that could be completely wrong. Did you get something different?
Well, for the z-score, I got 0.454 if you're rounding.
And you just
And I tested it in the thing with the area, and it gave me that as well. I just don't know if it wants the area to be in the center of the curve, or if it should actually be like on the left side. Does that make sense?
You don't know which side you should have highlighted.
Yeah.
So
So you get different answers.
on the graph, I don't know, the two-part video that he gave us, on one of the slides it says steps to finding a value when given the area or percentile. And it says the first step, if it's less than 50%, highlight the left side of the graph.
Yeah.
And then type in the area at the top. Or type in the percent at the top.
When you do that, it says the z-score is negative 0.385.
That's what I got.
That's what I got too.
And then I took that point, or negative 0.385. Oh shoot, did I make it negative? I might have just done 0.3. But I took that times the standard deviation, which at the top, what question is it? Number 12 or 13 says it's 0.07. So I took the 0.385 times 0.07, and then I added the mean. Like I said, I have no idea if that's right. That's just right.
I just don't understand what answer it's even looking for. Do you know what I mean? Because it just says find the 35th percentile, the protein requirement for adults.
I look in the material. You should type in the area. You type the percentile given.
Yeah, I get that, but does he want just the z-score as the final answer, or what?
No, I think he wants the amount of grams. That is the 35th percentile of requirement, because the mean is the 50th percentile, right? Because it's right in the middle, and that the mean is 65, right? What was it? Yeah, so the mean is 65. So the 50th percentile for the mean protein requirement is 65 grams. And so he's asking for the 35th percentile. So we're looking for the grams of proteins required for adults. And so I think once we get the z-score, what you do is you just do that same formula of...
Or you replace the z-score and then find the... So should we use the same information given in number 16?
Just we want to use the mean and the standard deviation that we've been using for the last, I think, 3 questions.
Mhm.
And so when you plug in the 35 to the top of the area, we get a z-score of negative 0.385. And so then I think you do you do that equation that we've been working on with the z-score backwards. And you do 0.385 plus the standard deviation.
Well, wouldn't you have to multiply it by the standard deviation first and then?
Oh, you're right. Yeah, that's right. You want to do the opposite. So instead of dividing, you want to multiply it. And then you add the mean, right? I got 0.623.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what I got too.
That
That's why I did that after I made sure I put negative 0.385. I must have put in positive the first time.
you couldn't have a negative amount of protein.
So for the 80th percentile, then wouldn't you need the left and the center selected?
Yeah, it's on the next thing. It says for greater than 50, select the left and the middle.
Cool. And I got a z-score of negative 0.842.
Well, shouldn't it be positive this time? Because if you're selecting the center, you need to go all the way to the right of the selected part. Right? I mean, that's what would make sense to me.
I get that. So to go up to 0.842, did you get that as a z-score? Once you change it to 80%. 0.842.
Because the 80th percentile should be a positive number, right?
Yeah,
Does that make sense?
that does make sense.
Though I'm still a little foggy on whether you needed to select just the center or both the center and the left side.
No, do the center and the left side.
Yeah, that's what you want to do.
Okay, so when I did it, I just got 70 point, well, or 0.709.
Yeah, that's what I got as well. Awesome. Well, I just submitted it. It says that we got 100%.
Yeah, I accidentally typed a number wrong on one of them, but I don't know if I care enough to go back.
What did you
The
get on
100.
the last one?
What was that?
What did you get on 18?
On what one?
Number 18.
0.709.
Yeah, I accidentally hit the wrong number on my little number pad while I was typing in 10 and didn't realize it.
Mm.
Oh well.
Awesome. Is that it?
Yeah, I think so.
So Tuesday and Thursday, 5:30. Is that the plan?
Yeah, I mean, works for me.
That works great for me too.
Works for me, except this next Thursday. It's like 99%. Well, yeah, basically my wife's gonna be induced, so we're gonna have her baby that Thursday or Friday. Won't
Well, you're going to be gone for a couple days anyways then.
be my disappointment, but I'll try to come around every month. But the Tuesday one I'll make it.
That's awesome, though. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
Yep, and now after next week you'll start hearing a lot more screaming and crying in the background.
Is this your first?
Yep, it is my first. So we'll see how my parenting instincts kick in or not.
Well, I gotta get going. So I'll see you guys
Thanks,
next
Ryan.
week.
All right, see you guys next week.
You okay, Bert, Tony?
Not really, because I was trying to be where you were. I still have a problem with number 17.
Yeah.
I got 0.67 for the value as the 35th percentile, which is that correct? Is that what you got?
So your final answer should be 0.623. Did you click just on the left side of that little number thing? You know what I'm talking about?
What I don't understand is why I click on the left side.
Because the 30th percentile is less than 50%. Does that make
Oh.
sense?
It makes sense. Makes sense.
And so anything above 50%, you click on the center and the left side.
So this is the 68. This is according to the rules, 68, 95, 95, 99.7.
And so
I see that this score is minus 0.385.
And so now you'll just need to do kind of the opposite of that formula that we did up at the top. So instead of, saying the number they give you minus the the mean, which is 0.65, divided by 0.7 or 0.07. Instead, you're going to do, like, you're going to put in the negative,
It's the negative 0.385
yeah,
equals,
and then you need to multiply by 0.07.
the formula should be the z-score equals the value that you are looking for minus the mean divided by the standard deviation, right?
Yeah, so the formula for this one, like that's the formula to get the z-score, yeah. But
Yeah.
you're doing the opposite because you're trying to get the z-score to be the number. Does that make sense? That they would be giving you?
No, I'm not trying to get the z-score to be the number. I am looking for the number.
That's exactly what I just said. Because when you're looking for the number, you're trying to get the z-score to be the number. Does that make sense?
Mm.
Because that z-score is equal to a number value. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so you need to basically do that equation in reverse and opposite of the operations. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So you put that z-score in, you multiply it by the standard deviation, and then after you multiply it by the standard deviation,
you add
and mind you, it needs to be negative or positive, whatever that z-score is. You know, when you multiply it, and then you add the mean,
the mean, yes.
and then you get the number.
Perfect. So it's 385.
Make sure you put in negative and stuff like that, because that's important.
Yes. Okay. This is so it's 0.623.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, for the find the 80th percentile for the protein requirement for, so this should, I should click the middle.
Yeah, since it's over 50, you want to click the middle one and the left side.
Okay. Oh. Click the middle one on the left side.
Yeah.
So when I type the number, then the middle part on the right side got in blue, become blue, and the z-score is minus 0.842.
So for that
On the-
one, you shouldn't be going with a minus. It should be a plus because you're above 50%.
Yeah.
That's the right number. That's the number I had.
Mm-hmm. So I would do 0.842 times 0.07 plus 0.65.
Mm-hmm. It should be 0.709 or something like that.
.708 or
Well,
round,
after you round up, it'll be 9.
yeah. Zero, 0.09. All right. Okay, so for number 16, find the probability that a randomly selected person will have a protein requirement that is between 0.60 and 0.70. Remember to find the area between two values shaded to the left of each z-score you calculate, and then subtract the smaller area from the larger area. Make sure your answer is positive. This is the probability that a randomly selected observation will be lie between the two values. Between
So for that one, like, you basically got all that information that you needed from the questions before, like, because you figured out what 0.60 was. Does that make sense? And then all you have to do, because 0.60 and 0.70 are actually equal distances away from the mean, you can actually just click on that center section on the thing. So, like, just type in the answer you got for 13 into the like z-score down below, and it'll give you the answer you need. After you, like, so you'll have to click on the thing, if that makes sense, on the left, because that particular question said, you know, what portion of the population have a protein requirement that is less than 0.60, so it's automatically to the left. And you'll just type in the 0.238, I think is what it was. Yeah.
238 or 258. So, okay.
I guess that's actually asking in percentages, though.
So does that
percent?
at this point I should look for two z-scores, right?
Yeah.
So it's the mean, no, the value, which is 0.60 minus the mean 0.65 divided by 0 by point, which is the standard deviation. So we got for this, we got we get minus
So, I mean, the way we did it wasn't probably the way you're supposed to actually do it, because all you really have to do is you take the 0.238, multiply it by 2, and then subtract that answer from 100, and that'll give you the percent. Though we did it with the actual thing because we already had the information pulled up from the last two that we did on 14 and 15, and so you'd have to find the z-score again for one of those and go through and do it that way, probably, because yeah, because with the rounding it wouldn't give you the right answer. Because it, like, on 13 the answer is already rounded up.
So do you mean I just type?
So what you'll have to do is you'll just have to find the z-score for one of them. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
And then you input that information in and then highlight the center like thing.
Right.
Just remember how it was 0.714 or whatever.
Minus.
And so if you have the, like, you just go to that little thing and type in 714 into either side of it, 0.714.
So it's
And
I
then,
get minus 0.714.
yeah. Well, for 70, it's just positive 0.714. So they're the same on either side. And then if you click the center or have the center selected, when you put that in, it'll tell you that it's 0.5248. And then you round the 4 up because of the 8 to be 0.525. That makes sense?
Uh-huh.
And that's how we got it. There's definitely a much longer and drawn out process to figure that out.
Okay.
Where you basically have to do the math and actually, subtract them from each other and everything.
Shift to the left. So I should shade to the left.
No, you want to shade the center because you're looking for the value between the two.
Oh, okay. So but I should get the second z-score, right?
What do you mean?
I get the z-score using 0.60, which
Yeah,
is
but the z-score for 0.7 is just the positive value.
all because it's so close.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, it's because they're the exact same distance from the mean.
Yeah. Okay. So I see the result is 0.5248.
Yep.
Okay. What proportion of the population have a protein requirement that is less than? Okay, I did that already. 15. What proportion of ovary have a protein requirement that is less?
So is that all taken care of now?
Almost. For number 15, I do zero.
15 is just the same answer as 14. Because remember how they're the same distance away from the mean?
Uh-huh.
And you're doing 0.60 and 0.70 again. And so if everything shaded from, you know, one side to the far side is 0.762, that means if you go to the other one and you're saying it's everything from there less, you know, then it ends up being the same. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
It's basically like you take that graph and you just switch the sides that you're shading. That's all you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
So
Okay.
it's the same.
Okay. Okay. Well, you're helping me a lot. I was not supposed to be late. I just received a new calling and I had interviews every Thursday, so um,
Yeah, well, we're probably gonna try and do every Tuesday and Thursday at
yeah,
7:30 your time.
yeah. All right. So you already answered the other question from 3 to 12. So it says the total area under a normal distribution curve must equal. Your answer.
I have already clicked off of that quiz.
It's must equal 1.
What was the question again?
The total area under a normal distribution curve must equal 1, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, under certain circumstances, a normal distribution curve can drop below the x-axis.
No.
This is false. It should be on. And normal distribution curve is symmetric, is true.
Yes. It should be symmetrical.
Which of the following elements of the figure represent the z-score? Okay.
Just that little number at the bottom, C.
Uh-huh. Let's see. Which of the following element of the figure represents the probability that z-score will be greater than 1? It's B. I don't understand this one. This number 7.
What does it ask?
Which of the following elements of the figure represent the probability that the z-score will be greater than 1?
Hmm.
No. None of these represent the probability that the z-score will be greater than 1. It cannot be greater than 1.
The z-score can be greater than 1. It's the area that can't be greater than 1.
Mhm. So
I'm pretty sure that one was none of them. These represent the probability that the z-score will be greater than 1.
uh-huh. Okay, according to the 68, 95, 99.7, what percentage of the data from a bell-shaped distribution will be within one standard deviation of the mean?
You just type in, like, in the standard deviation things on that thing, you just type in like 1, 2, and 3
Where?
on the z-score for the normal probability applet.
Uh-huh. So type 1.
For number 8, though, it's asking for percent, so you just type in 68.
Will be within one standard deviation of the mean. Hmm. What percentage? Okay, this is 68%.
Yeah.
Okay. Suppose that this score comes from a standard normal distribution. Use the normal probability to insert the special where the score will be between -1 and 1. So I click in the middle, right?
For
Number,
oh yeah, all those are from the middle because you're just doing numerical standard deviations.
so the number is 0.3173.
What? What one are you doing?
Number 9.
No, it's asking you for how much area it covers. So you type in 1 into either side of that, and then the area, it'll pop up as 0.683.
Yeah, that's and I click in the middle, right?
Yeah. So you click in the middle, and then you go down to the bottom ones.
It's 0.31773.
No, did you type in 1 to the z-score?
Yeah.
Then the only answer you can be getting in the area section is 0.6827. Because no matter what numbers you're using, that'll always be the area. Does that make sense?
Oh no.
So you're typing something in somewhere wrong. The z-score are the ones down at the bottom,
I type 1.
and you only have the center one selected in blue.
Oh, the only send. Oh, okay.
Hmm.
And the left and the right is
White.
white. So the answer is 168.27.
Need around.
62, 63, 83, sorry.
Yeah.
What proportion of the z-score would be between -2 and and 2? Okay, so it's 0.9 55.
Yep.
Okay. 3. It's 0.997.
Oh. For question 7, it should be B. But I got it close enough.
For question what?
7 should be B.
Oh, okay. Number 11 is 99.7.
Yep.
Number 12, look carefully at your answers to the last 3 questions. What do you observe? The values match the 68, 95, 99.7.
Yeah, that's it. It's the first one.
Yeah. All right. Let's see. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem, Bartholomew. Have a good one.
All right. Thank you so much.
And I'll see you on Tuesday.
See you on Tuesday at 7:30 my time.
Yep.